The Asset Alliance Group Scottish Rally Championship headed north again for round 5 of the 2025 season, the Voly Grampian Forest Rally, the annual clash with the British Rally Championship based out of Crathis, once again hurling a strong SRC entry, headed up by Scottish winners David Bogie and Kirsty Riddick.
Good, yeah. It's been a bit of a kind of slow day. We done a quick test yesterday and just waiting now for the rally to get started. So looking forward to getting into it. Look, 2 good stages tonight, so looking forward to it.
Good. Do you think you can make it 2 SRC wins on the bounce?
I hope so. It's we've made some changes to the car now, which will hopefully improve it. We won't know until we go into this first stage tonight. So here's hoping if we can find a bit more traction than we did at the Scottish, then we'll hopefully be in a good place. So looking forward to it.
We'll try our best. We had a good test yesterday, the VIP day. We haven't really made much changes to the cars. We did play about and do some setting changes with the suspension and got a good setting in the end. So the confidence is there. So we just need to keep it shiny side up.
The competition here will be fierce. We're expecting likes of Scott, BT, John Wink, everybody to go very well. And we'll just have to see what we can do.
Away from the ceremonial start and into 2 stages on the Friday night, dust and difficult roads were about to become the theme of this year's Grampian. Quickest on both the opening stages, Scott Beattie and Peredur Davis made a cracking start in their old Fiesta, determined to do well in Scott's home forest. Peredur saying it was Scott's best start yet, but they led by less than a second. That was over Bogie and Riddick. The setup tweaks that David had discussed pre-event hadn't done what he hoped, and the car wasn't as planted as they would like. More changes were planned overnight. They were still lying second, with a handy 13-second buffer to third place. Mark McCulloch and Michael Hendry were victims of the hanging dust in Special Stage 1, hitting big patches while flat in 5th gear and dropping 10 seconds to the Fabia. Special Stage 2 was better, although the car appeared to have a bit of a mind of its own. That was traced to a bent lower suspension arm, David Coote stepping in to lend some assistance with the welder overnight. Less than a second back, Bruce McCombie was making a great return to the SRC in his Fiesta, accompanied by reigning co-driver champion Keir Beaton. Bruce admitting he was quite pleasantly surprised by his pace and happy to have avoided any punctures so far. If Bruce was happy to have avoided punctures, Ian Forgan and Chris Lees were absolutely ecstatic. After their disastrous Scottish, the Rally 2 crew were less than a second behind Bruce and Keir after 2 stages. The only real drama was a big chunk in one of the sidewalls, but the tyre had stayed inflated and they were very pleased with an early 5th. After a very encouraging run in the Scottish, John Crawford and Josh Davison had made another strong start, shadowing their fellow Rally 2 Fiesta competitors ahead of them. The blue and white Ford had only 3 seconds to another Fiesta, the returning Stephen Petch and Michael Wilkinson. Having not done a rally in 4 months due to family commitments, they were feeling pretty rusty on the openers, pleasantly surprised to be inside the top 10. 3 seconds further back, John Wink and Neil Shanks had decided to keep their powder dry on Friday, opting for a safe and steady pace rather than trying too hard. The I-20 still off to a good start in 8th, just 1 second up on Barry Groundwater and Ashley Will. Barry and Ashley were experiencing Fiesta power for the first time and they were very happy, immediately feeling good in their new toy, to an early 9th. Rounding out the top 10 at the end of Friday, Bob Adamson and Harry Stubbs, having made a solid start in their polo, but once again, Bob saying he was enjoying the fast nature of the stages, although having to dodge the occasional big rock was keeping him on his toes. That left them just 1.3 seconds up on Johnny Mackay and Rachel Matheson. After a difficult year in the Evo, Johnny and Rachel were delighted to be back enjoying rallying again. 11th overnight in Johnny's home forests, they were set up for a big Day 2 battle with the Mark II escort of Ross Jarrett and Dan Forsyth. Ross and Dan topped both the GM Mechanical Services 2-wheel drives and the Challengers divisions overnight. Ross was quite proud of the fact that he'd scared Dan on a couple of occasions. They were determined to put some pressure on the Mackay Evo in front of them, but also had to keep an eye out behind them. Both Oren MacDonald and Claire Fraser, and Paddy Munro and Andrew Stevenson weren't far away. Unfortunately, it was a short event for Challengers points leader Brett McKenzie and Barry Young. The Evo crew making it through stage 1, but unfortunately the gearbox would cry enough before stage 2.
No, we just sent it into the first corner and that was it. So really good stage, both of them. So yeah, we're chuffed.
Fair play to Scott, best I've seen him drive so far. So hopefully he can improve on that tomorrow. Yeah, really committed run and chuffed to be where we are tonight.
Day 2 dawned, dry and sunny. More dust to contend with for our crews. The morning belonged to Bodie and Riddick. The setup changes worked well as ever, jumping into an immediate lead on the opening loop. There was a scare, however, when the dashboard threw up an overheating warning, firing the fans into overdrive. It didn't seem to matter, the Fabia moving clear at the top of the standings by 28 seconds by the end of the second loop. After their cracking Friday, Saturday morning was not so good for Beattie and Davies. 2 bent lower arms in the first loop left them crabbing slightly along the road, and they weren't very happy with their choice of running 2 spares on the second. Despite the small niggles, the Fiesta was now in a very comfortable second. The morning was brighter for McCulloch and Henry. Suspension all sorted, they took a fastest time on stage 5. With the roads now starting to show their teeth a bit in the second loop, they were keeping things safe, trying to maintain their buffer to the chasing McCombie and Beaton. The gap was still only 16 seconds. Bruce and Keir still enjoying themselves, being pleasantly surprised by their times. They did confess to a couple of hairy moments on the second loop of the day, but Bruce was still running well in his home forests. Finding their flow again on the Saturday morning, Petch and Wilkinson climbed from 7th to 5th. The only real disaster was a puncture in the short spectator special stage, the Fiesta dropping 16 seconds to the fastest SRC time in less than 2 miles. Going in the other direction, it wasn't a good morning for Forgan and Lees. 2 spins, compounded by getting lost in the dust, dropping them behind their fellow Fiesta. What was more frustrating was that their pace was good when they had a clean run. The Fiesta was around 50 seconds up on an entertaining battle for 7th. Bob Adamson and Harry Stubbs' good run was continuing, and luck was on their side. A couple of wheels showing collisions with rocks, but they had avoided any punctures. The Polo had just 9 seconds to Johnny Mackay and Rachel Matheson. After a steady start in the morning, the Evo crew were right on the pace, swapping times with the Volkswagen in front. There was also a big 2-wheel drive battle brewing. Ross Jarrett and Dan Forsyth continued to lead, although they had survived the spin, losing brakes and running out of tyres on the Saturday morning. The Mark II's front wing also creased after bouncing off a bale. That meant that Paddy Munro and Andrew Stevenson were now closing in fast, despite being caught in another crew's dust on one of the stages, and were now just 7 seconds back from their fellow escort crew with just 2 stages to go. Climbing into the top 12 of the Grampian and starting to go very well was Duncan Campbell with Eamon Boyle, stepping into the co-driver's seat at the very last minute with the Impreza. It was getting quicker with every stage, and they were locked in a Class M6 battle with the Evo of Martin Erskine and Peter Castares. Martin and Peter had endured brake problems on a Friday, but the team had sorted a solution overnight. The Evo running really well, despite a flattened exhaust. They were just 6 seconds down on Campbell and Boyle with 2 stages left. The difficult nature of the Grampian was starting to tell. First to go were Wink and Shanks, the normally ultra-reliable I-20 suffering a water pump failure on the way to stage 6. Groundwater and Mills Fiesta also experienced mechanical failure. The crew were actually able to sort the car at the side of the public road, but they were unfortunately OTL.
Griffin is watching from Queensland in Australia. There you go.
Locked in a battle for top challengers overnight, Oran McDonald and Claire Fraser would also retire, a tricky blind crest catching them out, and the Orange Evo would roll out of the event.
The guys made some changes to the car last night and it certainly improved it, so we're heading in the right direction. So yeah, good, just trying to again keep away from any trouble. I think there'll be a few getting punctures between now and the end of the day, so we just need to make sure we're not one of them.
2 stages were left to run. Let's have a look at who came out on top in the various categories. After their MG Challenge win at the Scottish, Robbie Wood and Simon Mills were continuing in that mode on the Grampian. Robbie finding his years of quad bike racing had prepared him well for the multiple surface changes and loose nature of these roads. Full of confidence, they led the Moats Offshore Junior right from the start, chased all the way by Ryan Walker and Paul Gribben. The silver car grabbing 48th overall on the way to Robbie's first junior win of the season.
Yeah, good. No, we had a really good day. No drama all day really, so just a clean run. Took it maybe a little bit easier in the last 2, but no, really happy with how today's gone.
You enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, it's been really good, thanks.
Yep. Simon, how was it in your side of the car?
Yeah, really good. Everything was working well. And we've had a good day, as Robbie said. We had a good buffer going into the last couple of stages, so there was no point throwing it away. So we just protected that and got the finish.
Taking her first ladies drivers win of the season, Christina Robinson and co-driver Grum Wilcox event started with an overshoot and a reverse in stage 1. Saturday saw her turn up the pace, enjoying a nice little battle with Neil Cowan Jr. and Gail White's MG. A puncture on special stage 7 dropped him back from the ZR crew, but kept him in a strong pace, grabbing 47th overall, and the ladies win by almost 5 minutes. The Grampian Rally marked 50 years of competition for Escort legend Steve Bannister. The Mackenzie family making a special 50 years of banner to mark the very special milestone. With Callum Atkinson alongside as ever, things did not start great. Steve wasn't very happy at the end of Friday. Saturday, however, they started to turn up the wick, climbing the leaderboard all day to grab 4th in the two-wheeled rankings and yet another win in the Haddo Energy Super Seniors. 50 years in, and Steve is still a force to be reckoned with. Making it 2 Grimwater Lifts Truck Subaru Cup wins in a row, Jack Ryan and Robin Nicholson were running even more strongly than they had at the Scottish. They quickly discovered that their Impreza cabin wasn't very dustproof, an issue that was made much worse when they caught the limping Trevor Gamble in Special Stage 7. Despite coughing and spluttering inside the car, they were absolutely flying, pushing the old Clubman Spec Subaru to an excellent 5th in the Challengers and 15th in the overall points. That left them a minute down on Campbell and Boyle, the newer Impreza, just missing out on an SRC top 12.
That third spectator thing, I hated that. So yeah.
So you weren't tempted to show off?
No, I've got no flow with the car going that slow, to be honest. Just not used to it, to be fair. So I reckon I could have mountain biked round it quicker, even gained Fat Josh a backy.
After a puncture and a poor run through the spectator special set them back, John Crawford and Josh Davison were able to rebound, salvaging 12th in SRC points for John at the finish. The Fiesta ended the event 8 seconds down on Erskine and Carstairs. The improvised exhaust repair working really well, and they were delighted with their Class M6 win.
Yep, it's
Ricky Finlayson was enjoying a great ride alongside Paul Thompson in the Mark II. third two-wheel drive car home and top historic was another cracking result for Paul. 10th at the finish was a good return to form in the woods for Mackay and Matheson.
Yeah, a bit of welly, so yeah,
Well, he's certainly going on.
In the massive two-wheel drive battle, it was Jarrett and Forsyth who would blink first. Another spin, followed by a brief visit to the scenery, once again handing the advantage to Monroe and Stevenson. Paddy and Andrew needing no second invitation, grabbing a second double G&M Mechanical Services two-wheel drive and Challengers win in a row by just under 13 seconds.
Yeah, we're quite happy. We had a great battle with Ross all day, and Andrew on the notes was just amazing. And you know,
Top team.
Top team. No, he did very well, very well. No, it was a good day, and like I say, a great battle with Ross.
Yeah.
Plenty of crack, you know. So.
Adamson and Stubbs had another good final loop, pulling clear of the chasing Mackay and Matheson to grab 7th. Yet another solid SRC top 10 for the Polo this year.
yeah, Bobby's.
Yeah.
Forgan and Lees managed 6th, a good way to bounce back from their difficult run at the Scottish.
Small crest, absolutely flat, one left loose. 60 up, one right in flat past Corey, one right flat past Corey. One right, flat, one left over crest flat, 60, crest, and keep left over crest, one right. 70, crest, 4 left in the tree line, steady.
Petch and Wilkinson's return to the SRC was rewarded with an excellent 5th place, just 12 seconds down on the equally satisfied McCombie and Beaton. Bruce once again proving how good he is in his home forests. McCulloch and Hendry rounded out yet another very strong event with 2 top 3 times to stick their home-engineered Proton on the podium yet again. Less than 20 seconds away from 2nd place, showing how close the competition is in the SRC.
It's fantastic, and just seeing everybody here, the support that the fans are giving this rally is great, and this is what we need in every event, genuinely. It's great to see, and that's how we'll get the next generation through, because we are a sort of slowly dying breed as rally drivers, so we need new blood in, that's for sure. The stages have been challenging, let's be honest, they're not the easiest of stages for sure, but we've really enjoyed the afternoon loop, and we did feel like our pace improved as well, so really pleased.
Sort of struggled a bit last night and this morning, the first couple, but we got into a bit of rhythm later on today, and the times have shown we're a bit closer to the top 2, so we're happy how we finished up.
Yeah, we're all pretty close. Like when you think of how long this event is, it's nearly 60 miles. It's not a lot splitting in the top 3 really. So no, it's great, and long may it continue.
Making 2 second places in 2 years in the Grampian, Beattie and Davies once again got the absolute maximum out of their older Fiesta. A great result for Scott in his home forests, and with rumours of a potential new car flying around, the future could be looking very good.
Yeah, really happy. Yeah, we're chuffed we managed to get it to the end. The pace again is just probably another step up. So we're on cloud 9 after last night. We get 2 Scottish stage wins, and we kind of knew we were expecting what was going to happen today, but we just wanted to keep with them as best as we could. which we tried our best. So no, a good result for us both.
Yeah, good, excellent. Perida, how was it for you?
Oh, mega. Like, each event's getting better than the last, and like the pace is just building and building. And like Scott said, to rub shoulders and keep company with, you know, the likes of David and Mark and everyone, you know, the pace has been super hot. So yeah, it's been a really good rally.
Because, I mean, David's been at the top for a long time.
Yeah.
It's actually quite good that he's got a wee bit of competition now.
Yeah, we're getting there. Like last night we were, beat him, and I would have never expected that, to be honest. And then Mark, he was, I think he got a couple of, maybe a stage win today as well. So everyone's pace is there. Between me and Mark, we just need to step it up that wee bit more, and one of us will maybe beat him.
But taking a second win on the bounce, Bogey and Riddick. They'd be made to work hard to take maximum points in these forests, the result setting the Fabia pilot up well for another Scottish title.
Mr. Bogey and Riddick.
Yeah, good. You know, it was always the plan to come here and take away maximum Scottish points. So yeah, it's been really good, challenging stages with the loose rocks and the slippy conditions. But I think it's kind of added to the challenge. You know, had to be quick and had to be consistent and safe. So I think it's been challenging for everybody. But yeah, we got there in one piece, and yeah, more than happy to get maximum points.
Excellent, good. Kirsty.
Yeah, no, just like David said, it's been a good rally and a challenge. The conditions have been completely different to the Scottish. You know, a lot of rocks to dodge and things, but we're here and so we've both enjoyed it, I think. So that's all that matters.